My goodness. And swing and a miss, just like that. Sitting here talking muted. Unbelievable. But real quick, I was saying welcome. So glad to have you here. My name is Chris Patrick, host of the Heat Check podcast, here on behalf of Valley Sports Plug. And really threw together this live stream, a real impromptu, real last minute. I had some time tonight, so I figured why not? The draft is happening, and there's some possibility that we could have some trades, perhaps, maybe some guys on the move. But we're here. We're gonna react to it. I threw some of the links out to the other guys that Mike, Ian. Ian's a little busy. He won't be able to make it. Davey had brought up the idea, so we'll see if he makes it. But no, nothing on them if they can't make it. That's perfectly fine. No plans were ever cemented. I just, like I said, real hastily about 30 minutes ago, threw this all together. So we're going to see what happened. It's 4:30 Arizona time. I know the draft was supposed to start around this time. I don't have a feed pulled up or anything, but let me check here. Usually there's some kind of tracker for it. And we can kind of, so we'll just see it as it trickles in and talk about it. The odds for DeAndre Ayton went way down today. Let's see if we can pull up DraftKings Sportsbook. Because when me and Cody did the Heat Check podcast, it was at like plus 350 that the Suns were going to keep him. And Cody was joking that he was going to put a $1,000 bet on that and get a good return on it. That'd be like 3,500, I think. Come on, I gotta just be able to see the sports book. Also, I hope this is out on. Well, let me just do this then. So yeah, with Ayton though, the second best odds were with the Pistons, of course, after they moved. Shit, how come I can't remember his name? Jeremy Grant. They moved Jeremy Grant for nothing, basically. They just had to clear the cap space. And so there's speculation that that's paving the way for Ayton to potentially, get brought over in some kind of deal. And I wonder if that happens, if they look at giving us that fifth pick, which they have, it looks like they have their eyes on Keegan Murray. This is on tankathon.com. Chet Holmgren, up until a little while ago, was the consensus number one, but now looks like he might be going to the Thunder at number 2. Oh, so refreshing. Excuse me. Sorry for the ice clanking around periodically. I'm going to sip on that. If I'm going to be doing a lot of talking, hopefully we can get Davey in here. I know he can help me out. No picks in yet in the first 5 minutes. I don't expect probably closer to 5 before the first pick is made. But yeah, the Portland Trailblazers acquired Detroit Pistons forward Jeremy Grant, and for just a protected 2025 first round pick and additional draft assets, whatever that means. So he's going to play alongside Damian Lillard, kind of be the 1-2 punch up there. So that takes, I think, DeAndre Ayton out of the talks for going up there. Let me see. What was it? It was it's probably dangerous to be doing. Whatever. We'll do it that way. Pull something up first. Oh yeah, so DeAndre Ayton. Next team odds. I could always look at it just on my phone too, but I want to pull it up here. It says May 27th, so these are all old. Odds checker. Odd chart. So I don't know. It'll be interesting. I don't think any other trades have been announced yet. for this draft, as far as I know. And we can see. I don't know. It's hard. I haven't heard one way or another if people think there are going to be moves during this draft, or if everything's kind of going to stay put. It's not a very impressive draft from what I can tell. I mean, Chet Holmgren, scrawny, Pablo Banchero, excuse me. That's not how I thought you pronounced his last name, but he's a pretty good body. He had that problem, I'm pretty sure, where he was just sweating buckets and losing a bunch of weight every single game. So that could be if his conditioning isn't very good, or if he just has some type of physical problem. You look at that Keegan Murray guy out of Iowa. He averaged, it looks like 26.5 points. So that could be pretty enticing. I don't know. Are there any rumblings? Is because it seems like that might be who the Suns would potentially be targeting if there was a type of trade. Because if you're giving up doing a sign and trade for Ayton, you would think that pick would be a part of it. But I don't see. Yeah, I don't see any articles linking that to be the case. So beats me. See, we still don't have a pick in yet. Of course not. But with Orlando at number 1, it's interesting that Jabari Smith, jumped up there like that. I didn't hear much about him at Auburn. I know they were in the tournament, but I didn't think they were really making he was making moves like that. Oh, you guys might hear my cat crying. He's getting hungry. He thinks he's getting hungry. It's a little early. It's a rainy day today, at least out here in the East Valley. I don't know where you are. You might be watching this back. Maybe you're watching this back on a replay after the draft. It'd be interesting. Oh, that's not what I wanted. Okay. Well, it is what it is. So yeah, did you guys hear about this? Kyrie Irving has a sign and trade wish list with the Brooklyn Nets. And that's crazy. That's crazy that he would want out of Brooklyn in a situation where he could be playing with Kevin Durant. They want to pay him, few incentives, but he can do it. He's a solid player. For sure. Let me just pull this up. Hopefully I don't need this video. It needs to stop trying to load. But yeah, just to fill time until this draft kicks off. I mean, why not? Let's talk about it. You can read this article. Did it do it? Oh, it was because it was already doing it. Still figuring this StreamYard stuff out. No, nice. More. Cool. Yeah, so Kyrie has created a list of teams he'd like the Brooklyn Nets to consider working with on a sign and trade if he and the team can't agree on terms for him to stay in Brooklyn. According to Woj, the list includes the Lakers, the Clippers, the Knicks, the Heat, the Mavericks, and the 76ers. And the 76ers, it's got to be one of the dumbest teams on this list. You want to go to that dumpster fire and what they're dealing with? They got James Harden. I mean, I get Joel Embiid, but what's the difference between that and the situation you were just in? And you already know what it's like playing with James Harden. Because yeah, James Harden is staying in Philadelphia, isn't he? What's his contract situation like? Because I don't see Philly looking to trade James either. He's just a disaster, man. I mean, opting into a contract. So he had like a 1-year option. Okay, yeah. So he took a $47 million it's like a player option. Yep, I don't blame him. I would do that too. That's similar to John Wall. John Wall did the same thing. But yeah, 47 million. James Harden's going to stay in Philadelphia. So I guess what is a sign and trade where Kyrie goes to the Sixers and they get James Harden back? Like, oh, we regret trading James Harden. Does James and Kevin work better than Kevin Durant and Kyrie Irving does? I don't know. I don't know. And it sounds like, from what I've heard, the contract that the Nets are offering Kyrie is a pretty good one, and then something that he should really consider. He last thing he signed was a unwilling to sign. So the ESPN 2 years, so there's already a $42 million a year deal, I would assume, because Kyrie should make that kind of money. He's pretty good. He's pretty good. Yeah, Kyrie's pretty good. Man, there were those rumors swirling around. Maybe it was around like last year or the year before about us getting Kyrie, or was that during the Eric Bledsoe time? Maybe that was even further back. But yeah, the prospect of having Kyrie even then was enticing. Now I think obviously he's gone through a lot with having to sit out, all the other antics, the flat earther stuff, the other weird stuff he's kind of been involved in. But weird dude, but good basketball player, amazing basketball player. When he's healthy and he's on the court, he's a game changer and a guy that can definitely impact the game that you want on your side. So I can't imagine what Ian's going through with the Nets and Nets fans. I can't say much. We're going through a lot as Suns fans and with DeAndre Ayton, but to have the Nets just get like their big three all in, everyone's writing them into the finals when it's Harden, Durant, and Irving, and then all that just to collapse. I think they didn't play more than 20 games together. The one season they did have all the pieces together, so that's tough. And even when you do have guys like DeAndre Jordan and Blake Griffin and names that on paper sound really good, you still can't get it done. And even though these guys are all stars and superstars in their own right, maybe when they come together, it's not such a cohesive fit. I don't know. Still nothing. I really thought this draft was starting. Was I premature on this? Draftcast. Oh, ESPN does have a draftcast. Let's do the draftcast because I don't think there's anything wrong with showing the draftcast. We just can't show the broadcast, even with this transformative commentary. Which one did I click it on? Sorry, guys. My laptop really sucks, and I'm in the process of hopefully getting a new one here pretty soon. I think so. It seems like this mic situation is going to work. I use this to record the podcast and some music I used to make. So I think it's a pretty good quality, and as long as I can find a nice quiet place, I don't think it's going to pick up too much background noise. It's not taking me to the draftcast, damn it. It's taking the New York Post. What the hell? No, I wanted ESPN. I'm looking at it on my phone too. Let me see if anyone else is coming in here. Doesn't look like it. I would not be surprised if Mike popped in here unannounced. I hope so. But if not, like I said, no big deal. I dropped it. I surprised myself with this. Just spur of the moment. Tell me if it sucks. Tell me if I should never do this again. If you're watching it back or if you're tuning in now, hop in the chat and tell me. Say stick to the podcast. Tell us what kind of content you want to see. We did the pop culture live stream the other night. Davey hopped on with us. Ian was on for a bit. I fucked that up big time. That was bad. We were talking for like probably 25 minutes, maybe 30 minutes. And Mike points out, "Hey, Chris, are we live?" And I sure as shit, I didn't start the broadcast. I clicked start the broadcast, but then there's like a secondary box you got to click to really send it. I didn't do that. So it was like right when Davey came on, ironically enough. And so we relaunched, but unfortunately Ian had to bounce. You know, it happens, but that's what we're doing. We're doing that kind of stuff. We're doing the live streams more often. We'll probably do another one, I think, this weekend. I'm going to check with Mike and see when he's available and not just drop it on him last minute. See when some other guys like Cody, we want to get Cody back on here. He wasn't able to make it to the pop culture stream either, but that's fine. You know, we're gonna do as much content as we can, and I hope they're okay with me just launching this stream by myself. I don't know if I'm gonna upload this to Spotify and Apple Podcast. Probably not. Also, don't know how long I'm gonna go for. It could be 30 minutes, could be an hour. We'll see. We'll see what happens. But I just wanted to catch at least the first few picks here and see if any trades came down, because all the teasers and a little bit of the talk I've been hearing the past couple days locally is that the big question is, are the Suns going to trade into the first round? We don't have a first round pick right now. Who the hell did we trade our first round pick to? To the Nuggets, it looks like. I don't know how we ended up being 30th. I guess maybe that's the lottery, but I thought it was by seeding after a certain point. In any case, Suns have no first round pick as of right now, as far as I know. I did just get a notification. That's why I kind of tripped up there, because I thought that it was saying that that pick was in, but it's saying Duke's Paulo Banchero. I thought his name was Pablo Branchero until like 10 minutes ago. I thought his name was Pablo Branchero, but it's Paolo Banchero. We'll figure it out. He's going to probably be playing for a shitty team next year, so we'll see. But if he's playing in Houston with Kevin Porter Jr., and some of those other young guys, that could be an interesting squad to watch. I know Orlando could be kind of fun to watch too. Cole Anthony maybe could take a step. Oh, got a package delivered. Nice. Yeah, but it's saying that Paolo Banchero joins Auburn's Jabari Smith as players under serious consideration to be number 1 overall pick. That's just in from Woj as of 3 minutes ago. I guess I was wrong about this starting at 4:30, but I guess that's not. God, oh my goodness, cats. But yeah, nothing yet. Yeah, like I don't think the first pick's going to come in until close to 5. And that's fine. That's fine. But I can talk now about what I think I should happen. Oh, there was some Jay Crowder. Now let me look at that too. There was some Jay Crowder rumblings. I like Jay. Nothing against him. Seems like a cool guy. He hit some big shots, played okay defense. More last year than this run. This stretch, he really kind of fizzled out. But the Suns are open to trading Jay Crowder in the right deal. So they've been taking phone calls. I know that's probably not great to hear as a player. He's a professional though, so I know he doesn't take it personally. He's played for multiple teams, so he knows the business and how it goes. Because the reports are coming in here, of course, from Cody's favorite local radio host, John Gambadoro. He confirmed today that the Suns forward Jay Crowder's name has been discussed with a few teams, and that Phoenix would trade him given the right deal. The first report was on Wednesday by Jake Fisher. The team called rivals to measure the forward's value on the trade market. So that's interesting. They're calling their rivals, supposedly. I don't know if that's like the Lakers and the Mavericks. And I mean, the Mavericks might just be a budding rivalry, but that's interesting. And so I also referenced there that Phoenix could be linked to guard Eric Gordon. And so the team is looking for a second round selection in Thursday's draft. I don't know. I guess maybe there's someone in the second round that they like. Do they just have? Oh, they do have a mock for the second. And Oh, so we don't have a first round pick or a second round pick. That's cool. Why did they forfeit their? That's interesting. Do they, Does anybody know why the Bucks and the Heat have forfeited their second round picks? The Bucks were forced to forfeit a second round pick this year for an illegal sign and trade with the Kings for Bogdanovich during the delayed free agency period before the 2020-2021 season. Huh. Interesting. And then what about the Heat? I'm guessing a similar affair. The Heat also engaged in some shenanigans during the delayed free agency period. They were a little bit more successful. Blah blah blah. Kyle Lowry going to Miami. Did they sign without an issue? The Heat eventually stripped this. So they signed Kyle Lowry at an inappropriate time and gave up a second round pick. I mean, that's hardly a slap on the wrist. I mean, most second round guys don't go on to be anything or do anything. I mean, it's no knock at them. It's just how it goes. Interesting. So it's about 7 minutes till 5 o'clock. There are no Jackson. Double check that. Yeah, it's probably gonna be right at 5. I'm not watching the broadcast or anything. Like I said, I'm just following the tracker. But I'd imagine about 5. About 5. We'll see the first pick. I just want to know if there's gonna be any trades, man. Even if it doesn't involve the Suns, it's always interesting to see how the league shakes up off season to off season. Yeah, so more on this story about Jay Crowder and maybe Eric Gordon. I guess Brian Windhorst on Tuesday said that he heard the Suns had interest in Gordon for a potential reunion with his teammate Chris Paul. They played on the Rockets together a few years back, and I guess had pretty good chemistry. Gordon's another older player, been around, and I think would help bring a little veteran leadership. And if he already has chemistry with Chris Paul, that's even better. Just one thing I always worry about with older players is their durability and how they're going to hold up. A guy like Eric Gordon, especially, I'm going to check right now, but I don't think he's I don't think he's an 82 game kind of guy. In fact, quite the opposite. It was pretty concerning. 34 this year, I believe. I don't have his birthday in front of me. So yeah, he just turned 33. He's about 33 and a half. So I think in the next season, yeah, he'll be about 34. But we'll go through his last 5 seasons here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So 2017, 2018, 69 games. That's decent. 68 games, decent. So I can live with that. But then since then, 20. Well, that's short. I think 2020 was a shortened season, right? Either way, 36 games, 27 games, and 57 games. So only 57 games last year at 33. So he's getting up there. He's missing games. Even earlier in his career, he had a 9-game season, 42-game season to follow that, a 45-game season in there. So he's not going the distance. And that's what I need, guys that are going to be healthy and available in the playoffs come crunch time, because there's a lot of things that were the problem. But I truly believe is that Chris Paul gets banged up and so sore the regular season that come playoff time, when he needs to play the long minutes and he needs to be the go-to guy that's knocking down the shots and getting to the bucket and playing hard defense, that can take a lot out of you. And as you get older, it takes longer to recover and you feel it more and you got to play through more. So I am sure he's playing through it and he's being tough and he's doing what he's got to do. But I don't need another guy like that. I need a guy that can actually be durable, go the distance, and be there when I need him. And so you look at a guy, Eric Gordon, 33. It's the fine line in the balance, between veteran experience and what that brings to a team versus the raw talent. And and also the age factor. Yeah, wow, I didn't notice this actually. It's right here in front of me. Eric Gordon's birthday is on Christmas Day, so that's interesting. But when it comes, I guess when it comes down between Eric Gordon and Jay Crowder, I think Jay Crowder is just a little bit younger. He's 31, and he's about to turn 32 in a couple weeks here. So happy early birthday, Jay Crowder. Salute. How durable has he been? He's been pretty durable. Only 20 games with Miami in 2019, 2020, 45 with Memphis the year before that. Dang, Jay, you've really gotten around. Oh, yeah, but those are all – shit, he played for 3 different teams in one season. Jay the Journeyman. Holy cannoli. You guys got to look at this. This is making my brain hurt, so you guys got to look at this with me. I just said holy cannoli, didn't I? Yeah, look at this. Can you see that? Does that zoom it in? Shift? That didn't help. Now I got the ad in my way. Dang it. Uh-oh. Oh, it's the slow computer thing. Oh, that might actually... Oh, no, that's because that's still going to be in the way. Can I... You can't exit out of those, can you? Dang it. Oh, no. Death. No, I don't want to open an E-Trade account. Oh, goodness. Okay, let me close some tabs here. Oh, it's almost 5 o'clock. Still no picks. Still no picks. Oh, my goodness. Can we refresh this? So Eric Gordon, 33. 34 on Christmas. Sutter, 31. Going to be 32 in a couple weeks. Whoop, whoop, whoop. Okay, this might be perfect. Hold up. Okay, full screen. Yeah? Yeah. All right, check this out. Break this down with me. So, with Phoenix last year, 67 games. The year before that, 60 games. Oh no, we're good. Yeah. So cool. So then 20 games. So that's in 60. How does that work? How did he play that many games in 1 year? Something's fucked up. Can someone explain this to me? What's 65 plus 65? That's 130. So he played 130 games in one season? That's not even possible. No, something's wrong there. 2021, 2020, 2019, 2020. Okay, I guess, yeah, and then 80 games with Utah, that's solid. Okay, something's going weird with these gray ones. See, somebody in the comments, if you're watching this back, please explain this to me. Because I'm very curious. I'm very confused. But point is, it looks like he looks like Jay is durable. So I would rather have a more durable guy like Jay Crowder than Eric Gordon when it comes down to it. Despite, okay, if him and Chris Paul have chemistry, that's great. But I also have Chris Paul not very high on my list of priorities with the Suns. It's Devin Booker for sure. And if we keep him, DeAndre be number 2 man. He's happy. And there's got to be a way where him and Devin Booker can feed off of each other. And if it's not both of them getting 20 plus every night, it's one of them getting 30 plus every night and they switch off. Because Ayton can be a dominant scorer. We got to find out how he wants to play this game, whether it's turn around, back you down, beat you up at the rim, or if he wants to play his finesse game. But if he's his finesse game, it's got to be consistent, and he's got to be able to put up the number and also grab the rebounds, because that's his situational aggressiveness or his lack of aggressiveness, whatever you want to call it. It's not going to fly. And it seems like that's not the style of play that Monty Williams wants to have out there. That's not the style of play Suns fans want to see out of him when they know what a guy of his size should be doing and how he should be playing. And I know I don't want to put one player in a box, because there's a lot of freedom of expression through the game, but at the same time, fundamental play gets you a long way. I know that much. And with a guy like that, there's so many things you can do just fundamentally that'll get you points, that'll get you rebounds very easily just by your sheer size. The one thing you cannot teach in sports is size. And that's why they never tell a 5'5", 120-pound guy that he can go be a linebacker or an offensive lineman in the NFL. It's just not physically feasible. It doesn't make sense. Sure, he could try. I mean, I encourage anybody to try, but come on, at what point do we have to be real with people and tell them, like, hey, look, I'm sorry, you're not going to be able to stop someone that's 2-3 times your weight coming full speed ahead at you, and you're probably going to get hurt. That's an extreme example. I mean, when it comes to football, there's a position for everybody in some form or fashion. Some positions are smaller, but that's not the point. Same the point guards can be shorter. You got guys like Muggsy Bogues, so those odds can be overcome. But Muggsy Bogues wasn't going to take on Dikembe Mutombo in any serious way. Spud Webb neither. No disrespect, but you got to call it how you see it. And if you haven't heard, again, I'll tell you here, I think the Suns would be making a mistake if they let Ayton go. At this point, with his age and his potential, I think he has a very high ceiling, and I don't think he's anywhere near it. I think if they let him go, this will be another case of Arizona fucking dropping the ball, and they'll be able to write another story about how the Suns can't develop talent and how it's all on the organization and has nothing to do with the players, and that it's just the city and the people in the organization from Robert Sarver all the way down. James Jones will get thrown under the bus. Not used to talking this much. James Jones will get thrown under the bus. At some point, Devin Booker will get thrown under the bus. Everybody will get thrown under the bus, because the story will be that we couldn't develop DeAndre Ayton, and we didn't know how to develop, and we didn't give him the tools to succeed, and that's why he failed. It's not because of DeAndre Ayton, it's because of the Suns. And I'm not saying that's the case, because I think there is a lot that DeAndre Ayton could be doing to put himself to be in a more successful situation. A lot of personal development is on the player and not on the organization. Now, yes, in game time situations, they do have to maybe include him in more plays. If you're gonna run a play every time down the court, if you're gonna have a game plan, I understand him wanting to be more involved in the game plan, but there's so much he could be doing to affect the game and to impact that he's not doing. I've said it before. I don't see him call for the ball. I don't see him aggressively box out and try and get offensive rebounds or putbacks, except for maybe every once in a while. It's just not consistent. But you can't let a guy like that go, because, like I said, you can't teach size. And so if you let him go, and it's just going to be bad. I could keep spinning my wheels on that, but what are the better options? What is the alternative to getting rid of DeAndre Ayton right now? Miles Turner, Miles Bridges. If the Pistons can somehow give us their fourth pick and you get one of these rookies, but James Jones says he doesn't believe in building through the draft, and I don't think at this point we're the type of team that should be getting draft picks or rookies. I mean, for that matter, it's time to win. We're supposed to be in a contending window, and to be in this position now is really, really shitty, because we had the number one pick. We were in the running to get the number one pick again the last time and get Zion, but that didn't happen. That's fine. I think that was a couple years ago, actually. Who did we end up getting in that draft? because we ended up, I think that was 2019 draft. Oh yeah, that was the John Morant draft. Kobe White. That was then Cameron Johnson. Yeah, when he said, "That's so love, bro. That's so love." Okay, so we got the short end of the stick there, not drafting until 11. Yeah, like I said, when we were, I think when the lottery was being spun, we had pretty pretty high odds of landing the first pick, and it just didn't. The balls didn't tumble our way. Am I missing something? Is there really no draft picks in yet? It's 5:08. It's 5:00. I've been streaming this now for almost 40 minutes. Oh, they're on the clock. Okay. Okay, it says they're on the clock. So we'll see. We'll see. Orlando, who are they going to pick? According to ESPN, they need a power forward, a center, and a point guard. So Chet Holmgren does make a lot of sense. I guess that's why Jabari Smith also makes sense. He's a big, tall guy, 6'10". I'm not impressed by Chet Holmgren. I'm sorry. I watched Gonzaga play in the tournament, and in a big game, he's just unimpressive, man. And I don't want to make it. I don't want to talk too much shit about his physical stature, but he's at 7 foot. He's only 190 pounds. That's like I'm on. That's like not that much more than me, and I'm like 6 foot. He's a whole foot taller than me and barely weighs much more than me. That's crazy. Let me see if I can see his stats. So he does. He does have the accolades, man. I mean, second team All American, WCC Defensive Player of the Year. Sorry, I guess it's still raining out. I heard some thunder, so I don't know if I'm gonna lose power here. If I do, stream's over. Oh well. But if not, I'm just gonna keep chatting, keep talking. At least through these first couple picks, see if a trade comes down. Of course, knowing my luck, as soon as a trade happens, it will be like right after I shut down the stream. But let me just see here, because the Pistons are in talk, or in somewhat of a talk. The Rockets a little bit. So if there's going to be a trade, a draft day trade, I think it would happen in the first like 10 picks. Because the Spurs are down there at number 9. And then I didn't really see too much. Yeah, let me, while this is going, because it looks like the pick is in. The number 1 pick is in. And it is Paolo Banchero from Duke, 6'10", 250. My goodness. That's crazy. That's crazy. So the guy that sweats a lot is the number 1 pick. This is like, we didn't know. We didn't really know who was. Usually there's a consensus surefire number 1 pick. Dang, they're giving them 5 minutes on the clock. So Thunder up, second pick. They got 4 minutes left. Brent Banchero, number 1 overall draft pick. He's bringing his sweat to the NBA. So let's see. Oh yeah, just real quick, back to Chet. So he has some. The point is, he has some accolades, and then his 1 year at Gonzaga, he only averaged 14.1 points a game, 3.7 blocks per game. That's pretty good. 9.9 rebounds per game. So basically 10 rebounds, and then 2 assists per game. It's just not. There's a lot to be desired. I mean, let's look at Paolo for For comparison, at Duke, similar 17.2 points, 7.8 rebounds, 1 block. So, again. But I mean, Duke versus Gonzaga. Gonzaga's really good. Obviously, maybe it's just a weak draft, man. Maybe. Wow, they're quick on that. They already updated his Wikipedia page. Someone was standing by with their finger on the trigger. 3 minutes left for the Thunder. Looks like they're expected to go Chet. They think ESPN thinks Shaedon Sharpe would be a good fit, though. I don't know about that. But I think they could surprise everyone. Maybe they take Jabari Smith here. Maybe they're with me. Maybe it just wasn't, maybe not that impressive. Oh, yeah, I want to look at these Ayton odds. I got this pulled back up here. NBA player next team. Yeah, so right now, as we stream, Suns plus 120, Pistons plus 175. So something might have got done. Something might be getting done. And could it be a 3-team trade? Could it be a 3-team trade where Ayton goes to Detroit, we get Miles Bridges, the Hornets get the first round pick? I think that's it. So are they going to wait till they get to the podium to announce that then? Because if it involves that pick, then this has got to get done. They could be at the table right now trying to pound this out. Just let SB Nation. This has to be just a grab article. Oh, this is on Bright Side of the Sun. Could highly motivated, quote, Suns just let Ayton walk away to Detroit? What do they mean by just walk away? Because I think we're all on the same page. We got to get something back. Dave King writes, keep an eye on Detroit's draft today, because that pick may end up going in Phoenix in a Ayton sign and trade. Oh, so Dave King thinks that Phoenix would get the pick. And so I guess that would maybe not involve a third team then. Maybe we wouldn't get Miles Bridges then in that case. Which, I mean, that's fine. Here, I'm just going to pop. I'm going to pop back real quick to see if we got a pick. The pick is in. So let's see what they say. The Thunder here. The Thunder outside in Arizona, and the Thunder number 2 pick. I think it's going to be Jabari Smith. I think Chet's going to slide. But I could very much also see it just go on Chet right here. The suspense is killing me. This is like when Cody would tell you if he's here, like when you have a sports bet going on, but you're not actually watching the game. You just have the ESPN stat tracker in front of you, and you're like, oh, he needs 1 more assist, and he'll have that double-double, and my same game parlay will be complete. And then you just see that time ticking away, only to realize that he's been on the bench with a rolled ankle for the last quarter and a half. They took Chet. Okay. All right. I am not the Oracle. So he was expected to go first by all accounts, but he goes second to the Thunder. I think that'll probably be a decent fit for him. He'll get plenty of playing time. The Thunder, pretty young team. So Rockets on the clock. It'll go Rockets, Kings, and then Pistons. So a few more picks to go. I think maybe after the Pistons. Maybe after the Pistons draft pick, I'll call it if nothing happens. Because I think that'll be what, 5, 10, 15. Yeah, it's about 15. So that'll be about an hour-long stream. I mean, I could go longer, especially if someone joins me, if anyone's out there. But we'll see what happens. We'll see what happens. So yeah, back to this article by Dave King on SB Nation. The closer we get to the NBA draft this week, and then free agency and trade season next week, the more fire comes out of smoke. Phoenix is apparently ready to move on. Free agent Ayton is maximum salary. Went over those numbers before on his contract. So give it to him. Give it to him. Give it to him. Try it out. Reload with some pieces this year. Try it out. Have them go on a week-long retreat together, boys trip. Go to the mountains. Go to LA. Go to the Bahamas. Go wherever you got to go and have a good time. Booker, Ayton have to be ankle tied by the ankle together. I don't know. They have to be together. They have to come together and make it fucking work. Try that for a year. Sign him to the max. Try that for a year. And then what's going to change next year when we're in this time of the year again? Maybe we get eliminated from the playoffs, early exit, or we don't make the playoffs, something, whatever. We don't meet our expectations of a championship, and DeAndre Ayton's still not digging it. Trade him. Trade him. It's proven that these guys are tradable. They're movable. Teams are always looking to rebuild and reload. There's always disgruntled players forcing their way out of situations. Anthony Davis signed a huge deal with Pelicans and then said, fuck you, I don't want to be here. If you're good enough, if you got the size and you got the ability, you can go wherever you want and teams will take you and you can always work out a deal. And maybe, I don't want to say the return could be better by then, but come on, there's nothing right now. There's nothing I think that is desirable unless he is just that much of a burden in the locker room that you got to get rid of him like that. I just don't understand. So anyway, he wants the max money, and then the Detroit Pistons have suddenly cleared up almost $50 million in cap. So that's the most suspicious thing, and I think that's what we're all kind of hanging our hat on right now is like, look, they just cleared up all that space, trading Jeremy Grant. So it seems like the stage is really being set for them to do a deal like that. And what does that look like? We're about to find out. I guess, so I can play this. So I can say I played this back before the pick was in and have video evidence of it. I'm revising a little bit what I think is going to happen potentially, but it's still kind of a 3-team trade. So we get that pick, number 5 pick from Detroit, and then we trade the Hornets that number 5 pick for Bridges. Cool. Same end result, but different avenue of getting there. Anyway, 1 minute before the Rockets pick is in. So just going to read some more of this going on. So the Pistons cleared up the cap space. They've been interested in Ayton for months. The Pistons have, according to insiders, and now they have got the financial freedom to simply sign him outright. Oh, so that's interesting. So they could just offer him a contract and force the Suns to match it or let him walk. Suns cannot let him walk, man. Come on. Unless James Jones is some evil genius mastermind with all the tricks up his sleeve, we'll see, man. Oh, look at this. What? So an article with me talking about an article with this guy's talking about an article within the article that I'm talking about. He wrote, James Edwards III wrote about the Pistons' interest today for The Athletic. I hate this. This deal opens up a ton of cap space for the Pistons. See what I did there? Yes, we all saw what you did there, Jamie Edwards III. Is James missing letters in his name there? Let me see. See who this guy making dad jokes is. Oh, this is not what I expected him to look like. Real quick though, since we got the pick in. Houston Rockets pick is in. Yeah, so currently on DraftKings, Ayton's odds for the Suns plus 120, and for the Pistons plus 175. So pretty much the only two teams in the running, it looks like. The Pacers at plus 800, the Spurs at plus 900, and the Hornets at plus 1,000. It's not happening. Not happening. That would be a long shot. But let's see. The Rockets are on the clock, and I think they're going to go Jabari Smith. They do appear to have a need for a power forward. I think they really should just be taking whoever they think the best available player is. And by all accounts, it looks like that is Jabari Smith. So go for it. Young man out of Auburn, 6'10", another big guy. So 3 power forward / centers going in with the top 3 picks. So Ayton, you might be 7 foot, but if these guys can board better than you, maybe you'll get traded and not have as much value as you thought. Jabari Smith, it's Jabari Smith. No shocker there. Seems to be the right move for them. We'll see how they do. So the rest of the draft from here is going to be very interesting, in my opinion. We got the Kings on the clock, and then the Pistons right after them. So we will know pretty soon here. We'll know pretty soon here if a deal is coming in. And guys, just if a deal doesn't happen during the draft, it doesn't mean that something won't happen down the road in the next couple days or even couple weeks. You never know. But it seems like that draft pick would be very enticing if they want to try and do a sign and trade type of situation. Oh, who did I read? I saw something that DeAndre Ayton has the same agent as somebody we were thinking about going up after. Anyway, let's see right here. So, oh yeah, you want to see what this guy looks like? The guy, Jamie Edwards III, the guy who makes corny dad jokes. This is him. I think one of these is him. I don't know. Not quite what I expected. I'm going to say that. So they got a ton of cap space. Prior to the trade, Detroit entered the season with roughly $30 million in cap space at its disposal, which was among the league leaders. After the trade, the Pistons have roughly $43 million at their disposal. Per sources, Detroit is heavily expected to pursue Phoenix Suns big man and 2018 number 1 pick DeAndre Ayton in the open market. The Pistons may also look to the trade block to make use of that cap space if Ayton stays put in Phoenix or lands elsewhere. So there you have it. The Pistons have money, but do they have enough to offer the Suns to be interested? I think that depends a lot on how motivated the Suns are to move on from Ayton and if they really are willing to just take pennies on the dollar for this guy at this point, because that's the thing that keeps getting hammered home on all the social media platforms, on all the media platforms, is the Suns don't think that Ayton is money he's asking for. The Suns don't think that Ayton is a max. Well, there you go. If that's so, maybe teams are going to call their bluff and say, well, we'll put you in a position where you either have to pay him the max or you have to let him walk to us. And so maybe they're calling the bluff that they would just let him walk. And I can't do that, man. Can't do that. Okay, good. Dave King even says it right here. However, the Suns won't let their starting center walk away for nothing. The way the Suns already spent money on other players, they're over the salary cap and approaching the luxury tax even before considering Ayton's contract. If they let him leave to an cheat, his salary slot would simply disappear. For nothing. For less than nothing. So they can't do that. They cannot do that. We have to. Ooh. King's pick is in. King's pick is in. Who is it going to be? Is it going to be Jaden Ivey? That seems to be the thought here. This is one of the weakest draft trackers I've ever seen. It's like just this little box right here. Oh, you guys can't even see it. My bad. It's just this little box right here. These two little boxes stacked on each other. Which, I mean, that's fine, whatever, but I guess I don't need a whole fantasy football style interface. But let's see who the Kings take or what the Kings do, and then things might get interesting. I think this is coming up is the moment we're all waiting for. Keegan Murray going to the Kings. That is not what we expected. Dang. Okay. They thought Ivy was going to go. But again, the fourth guy in a row, a power forward, 6'8". So this is a very forward-heavy draft. 4 power forwards going with the first 4 picks. And now the Pistons are on the clock. The Pistons are on the clock. Let's see what they do. 4 minutes. Are they going to announce a trade? Is it going to be the Suns pick? Because then I think if they trade the pick, I think the Suns will be on the clock and have time to do something. So in that time, can they turn around? Can they turn around and then trade that pick in the 4 minutes? Because you'd imagine they'd have to have all these things predetermined, ready to go, so they could just fire it off. And maybe they just do it back to back. Maybe they don't even do that, or maybe there's not even a trade. Maybe the Pistons just draft here, and then I think if they draft here, that'll indicate that there's not gonna be a trade here. I would bet that if there's not a trade here and the Pistons just draft Jaden Ivey or someone else, that we're not gonna see Ayton go anywhere else. He's gonna stay in Phoenix. And more specifically, what I meant to say is that we're gonna see the DraftKings odds, and we're gonna see those odds for Ayton's next team go way up for the Pistons. It's not gonna be the Pistons anymore, and maybe they'll take the Suns off entirely. You can't even bet on it because it just seems like it's a sure shot if he doesn't go to the Pistons here. I mean, crazier things have happened. Anything could happen. He could, randomly end up somehow with the Spurs or another team like that. But I don't see it. And let me look. So Chet could be also considered a center, a power forward center. But as far as I can tell from the mock draft I'm looking at, shouldn't have a power forward coming up, so it should be a guard next. The Pistons do have a need for a point guard, but they do need a center. So let's see, man. 2 minutes left to go here. I'll pull this back up so we can watch together. This little tracker. I just don't know. I'm so anxious right now. If there is a trade, if some crazy shit happens and the Suns get involved in this draft, I'm going to give Mike a call. I'm going to pause the stream and I'm going to call him. I know it's a bad time. Those guys are probably finishing up work for the day, maybe driving home, other stuff. I know Mike might be at the gym or something. 1 minute, 30 seconds, Pistons on the clock. If you're listening to this on the playback, new drinking game, you got to drink every time you can hear my cats meowing in the background. I do have some cats. I have 3 cats. My fiance has 1. Tell me if that's in the comments. Tell me if that's too many cats. Or if I need more cats. Maybe I'll do a cat stream. Just kidding. I got to be careful with this because I have the keys to the car, being able to just launch these streams like this. And if I get too crazy on these doing solo streams, Mike might just have to take the keys away. So I gotta play it straight. Gotta be good. Oof, 30 seconds left. 30 seconds left with the Pistons on the clock. I know that's not real though. They'll have time to slowly shuffle their way to the podium. I think they're drafting. I don't know. I have no idea. But I'm getting a feeling, like last minute gut feeling. I think they're drafting. I wish I was watching this live right now. Oh, it can't even give me like the courtesy stream. Okay. They don't say the pick is in. The pick is in. Oh, okay. Yep. They're picking. They're going to take Jaden Ivey. They're going to take Jaden Ivey. Oh, man. I think all day, just hearing the hype and hearing these trade rumors, trying to put pieces together that might not have been there. I think I talked myself into believing that there was going to be a trade happening and that the Suns were going to maybe either get into this draft or be involved with another trading that draft pick to another team. Because honestly, I didn't want them to get into this draft. Nothing against them personally, obviously, but I just don't like the play style of any of these players, or am intrigued by what they could add to this team. They're young guys. Now this is interesting. The pick has been in for a little while now. Maybe I'm reading too much into it, but I don't think the other picks were taking this long. I think something's happening. No, they did take Jaden Ivey. They took Jaden Ivey. There you go. So DeAndre Ayton is staying in Phoenix. I expect that he will be signing the max contract extension within the next 3 weeks. Because they have no more trade partners. There's no one else that they can trade with. I don't think so. I don't think so. Pacers plus 800. Did they? Let's see if they updated this live. I'm gonna go back to NBA futures. Am I crazy? Am I crazy? Because I just don't see it. I don't see it. Nope. Odds still the same. Plus 120 for Phoenix. Plus 175 for the Pistons. I'll check in on that tomorrow. I'll tweet it out. I don't know, guys. I don't know. A lot of hype for nothing. I think this is going to be a very vanilla draft the rest of the way through. That's where I expected any shenanigans to potentially happen. Because who else in this draft is enticing? Or even anyone that you would consider? I don't know. Well, guys, this was a Valley Sports Plug NBA draft party live stream. Launched this spur of the moment, just me. Like I said, it's only going to be here on YouTube, so thank you for checking us out. Make sure you have that notification bell on so you can see when I go live if I decide to do another spontaneous stream. We'll try and give you some advance notice. You can always get the updates on Twitter and Facebook as well. And if you don't catch us live, it's all right because we always post that replay right back up there on YouTube. We'll probably be putting another live stream together this weekend of the Valley Sports Plug Heat Check podcast. Me and Michael Benjamin, we'll get back into it, and we'll be breaking down some of the news, whatever happens between now and then. And then beginning of July, I'll drag him and Tallman back into the Valley Sports Plug studios here, and we'll do a proper live stream for a couple hours, tell you guys how we're feeling and what's going on. I think that's all I got. I'm gonna head out, but thank you guys all for checking on, stopping by, and catch you on the next one.